little Q&A video for you today so you and I can get to know each other just a little bit better and talk about life, love, travel, and getting through your 20s, which I'm definitely still figuring out. I asked you guys to ask me questions over on my Instagram, so I'm going to be answering them for you today. So get cozy, grab a tea, grab your favorite snacks, and let's just hang out together. Just a little disclaimer, if you hear any construction noises or if the lighting goes funny, I'm so sorry. The weather, nothing is on my side today. I've written down all your juicy questions in my journal, so I'm going to read them from here and let's get started. So the first question is, how am I navigating my life after art school? Now, for those of you that don't know, last year I graduated a degree in contemporary art here in Adelaide. And honestly, I chose that degree because I had no idea what field I wanted to go into. Basically, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I chose that degree because I had interest in art and I wanted to build on my techniques and learn some new things. Unfortunately, I do have to say that the degree wasn't quite what I expected and I wasn't super happy with it in the end. In fact, it gave me a lot of anxiety. It really made me doubt myself and my talents, but I really don't want to discredit it. It also taught me a lot too. And in the end, I really just focused on making it work for me. Now, life after art school. I don't know if this is just a me thing, but after I graduated art school, I felt really suffocated by the city that I lived in. I felt it was way too small. I knew everyone in fields that I wanted to explore. I felt too intimidated to explore areas that I really wanted to explore. And I felt really insecure about putting myself out there wholeheartedly online. I think something that obviously really compounded this was the pandemic being shut not only in our country here in Australia, but in our cities, because for a long time and only up until this year we couldn't leave our state. It made me feel that the world was really small and it was really hard for me to step out of my shell and outside of the shell of this tiny city and really do the things that I've always dreamed of. But recently this year I got to travel to Italy for the first time since the pandemic. For those of you that don't know, except I don't know how you wouldn't know, I'm also Italian. I even have my Italian nationality and it's definitely my second home. Being able to travel there, but not only there, just get outside of Australia and get outside of my city really helped open back up my worldview and make me think the world is bigger than just this tiny city with all of the people I know, all of the people I went to high school with, you know, all of the people that I might feel insecure watching me do my thing. And I think that really gave me the push to start doing what I love. So in short, life after art school, it's still a work in progress. I'm still sorting things out. Life as a creative in general is super difficult. I'm sure you all understand. But whatever, it's the life we chose for ourselves and it's pretty awesome most of the time. And that brings me on to my next question, which is Studio Sogni my main source of income and how have I been able to work for myself? So yeah, I have my own small business that I basically just started this year. It's called Studio Sogni, and at the moment I'm just selling my art prints, but trust me, big things are in store. And yeah, I get this question a lot, honestly. Basically, a major part of my story that I don't share with you guys is that I also work for my family's business and I have been working for them for the past 8 years of my life. My mum and my dad started their own wine business back when they were younger than me. So it's been a part of our family since the beginning. We're a boutique Australian winery that makes Italian-inspired wines. And I've always loved being involved in the business, especially after my mum passed away. It was really important for me to carry on her vision and her legacy through the business. So yeah, for most of my life, I was working at our cellar door where we sell our wine. At first as a glassy, and then once I turned 18, I was able to serve wine. And I really loved that job up until I didn't. If you guys know, if you work in hospitality or retail, dealing with customers all day can get quite tedious. I especially found it really difficult as a young female in the wine industry, not being taken seriously. So last year in my final year of uni, I said to my family and my brother, who's my boss, I do not want to do this anymore. I do not want to work in sales anymore. And I'd already been working sort of on and off helping with our photo shoots and social media. And basically I turned that into my role instead. So now I work 2 days a week with my family doing photo shoots, video content, Instagram content, all social media stuff, recipes, cooking, all of that for my family's business. So yeah, this is where it gets tricky. I guess working for my family used to be my main source of income, but now I've just gone down to this 2 days a week. My income is sort of split, I guess, between that and my own business, Studio Sogni. But my income for my business really depends on how well I do for that week, that month, and that really changes. I've only really just started my business and it's just getting off the ground, and I'm really fortunate to have done pretty well so far for just getting started. But yeah, it's a bit more complicated than which one is my main source of income. Somebody asked, what are some fashion trends that I hate? Hate is a really strong word, and I really don't like coming on the internet and bashing anything wholeheartedly, because I might turn around the next day and start liking it. But I have a few things that I'm not such a fan of. The one thing I put down in my journal here is basic Aussie girl fashion. Yeah, I'm so sorry. The Mr. Winston or White Fox hoodie outfit with the Populissimo bag and like Lorna Jane pants or leggings. Honestly, I'm gonna be nice here. All of those items on their own, I like. I love Populissimo as a brand. The bag I think is really cool. Styling it all together like that personally isn't my favorite thing. Everyone ends up looking a bit samey. Not that there's anything wrong with that either, if that's what you like, but personally, not for me. Next question, how many siblings do I have? So, I'm the youngest of 3. I was the youngest of 3. I have 2 older brothers, 7 and 8 years older than me, who are my full brothers. I also have a half brother who is about to turn 4, and another half sibling who is not yet born. And moving on from that, semi-related, what are your experiences with therapy? I needed to go to therapy for many years, and I kept putting it off until just recently during the pandemic. What I wrote down here on my notes for answering this question: therapy helped me work through a really dark time. I went for my anxiety and my relationship issues, but it helped me discover my own patterns of behavior and helped me develop techniques to lessen my anxiety. I really think it helped for those things. I ended up growing out of that therapist that I went to, but I do need to find a new one. I just think the mental health system is really difficult, and especially when you're already feeling nervous about going to a therapist, having to put yourself through all of the hurdles the health system have in place, it can be really almost impossible to do if you aren't in the right headspace and you don't have people helping you. Okay, the next question, and I love talking about stuff like this, is best relationship advice I've ever gotten or would give. And the sun's come out, the lighting is going to be so weird in this video. I have so much to say for this. I'm a Venus in Leo, I love hard, and my Virgo sun really makes me quite controlling over all things relationships. So I just love talking about all of this. If you want a whole video, questions about love and relationships, I could do it. And if you guys don't know, I am in a long-term relationship. That is crazy to say. Sorry, Paul, if you're watching this. We've been dating for almost 5 years now, which is kind of terrifying and a little off-putting. Also amazing. So we've been dating for almost 5 years, and I honestly feel like I've dated 5 different people in those 5 years in the best way. And I think that just means that we've really grown together. And these are the things that I think help that. I'm going to do the best to be eloquent and explain this to the best of my abilities. But number 1 for me is to love and to be with this person with no expectations. Now, that doesn't mean not having your needs met, and that doesn't mean compromising on those core values that you have for a relationship. To me, that just means not having expectations for what your relationship has to look like or should look like. The man should pay for dinner. He should come to all of my family events. After 3 years, he should be saying that we should move in together. After 6 years, he should have proposed to me. We need to get married, and all of these kinds of milestones and expectations that are they're outside of the actual relationship between you and the person. To me, those things just end up adding pressure onto the relationship. You can end up resenting the other person. They can end up resenting you and pulling away because of this pressure, when really the most important thing is just how you two get along and how you feel about each other and if you have fun together. And that is my second point, which is have fun. Yeah, to me, a relationship is supposed to be about having fun. Paul is like my best friend, and we just have so much fun together. Yeah, we've been together for 5 years, but we don't live together. We've got no plans to at this stage. And instead of getting stressed about this or where our relationship should be at this time, we just take things day by day and enjoy each other. And I wrote down here, this has allowed us space to explore our own dreams, but also to enjoy and appreciate each other so much more. We have our whole lives to be together and we can get excited about that. Just enjoying each day together and apart as it comes. But I have so much more to say. If you want me to talk more about it, we can do a whole video. Next question is tips for traveling through Italy. And I had a lot of people asking me this because I just got back from my trip and I think a lot of people are going on their trips. If that's you, I'm so excited for you. Let's go through my top tips. And these are just going to be general ones because I don't know what you're doing, how you're traveling. I'm not a great travel agent, so these are just my general tips. Number 1, anywhere you go in Italy will be amazing if you let it be. Basically, Italy is such a unique and incredible country because it's super small with tons of different regions that all have something different to offer, and you can get from one end to the other in the time it takes me to drive from Adelaide to Melbourne. It's insane. So I honestly believe you truly cannot go wrong where you go in Italy. Literally shut your eyes and point to the map. If you want to stay by the coast, you don't just have to go to the Amalfi Coast, Sorrento, Positano, whatever. There's like a whole coastline on both sides of this skinny little country that have the most amazing experiences waiting for you. If you want to do Amalfi, Positano, whatever, of course go for it, but those aren't your only options. Personally, I prefer the local small towns that really make you feel like you're living life in Italy. But in saying that, you can still make the touristy places work for you too. For me, I personally prefer to stay places for at least 4 days to a week, even 2 weeks, to really feel like you're living life there. And it just means you can really explore the culture. The Italian and the European way of life is not a rushed one. Something to note is that oftentimes you'll find that the places that you have booked or are planning to go to will be shut no matter what time of year, summer or winter. Sometimes they just don't want to show up to work. You cannot plan for these things. So the best way to kind of plan out your holiday there is with an easygoing attitude. Don't rush through the cities or the towns or rush to get to as many places as you can. Just live life like the Italians, like the Europeans, super relaxed. I personally prefer to hire a car because it's kind of difficult to get to some of the little towns that you might want to visit. And I honestly think, yes, driving in Italy is crazy, but you get the hang of it and it's not as scary as you might think. And the last question I have for you guys today, we're ending on a bit of a real one, but how do you deal with feeling like you don't have enough time, money, or skills to achieve the things that you want in life? And honestly, I get you. I totally get you. Feeling stuck like this can be super overwhelming and it can make you feel like you don't want to get up and try anything because you're going to fail in either one of these sectors. Skills, money, time, family, friends, relationships, whatever it might be. And me sitting here now on the other side of a very dark time in my life at the start of this year when I really did not have the courage and the strength to get up and do what I wanted to do with my life because of all of these things, all of these excuses. Honestly, all I can say is that there will always be a reason not to do something. And that's a really annoying thing to say because when you're feeling that stuck and when you're feeling that down, it's honestly not a comforting thing to say. But for me, I think what's really important is to take the pressure off yourself. Take the pressure off yourself to right now be that person that you really want to be because it's not going to happen overnight and it can't. You've got a long journey ahead of you. Just take the pressure off yourself and say, let me just try and see if I can do one little thing today that leads me to that life that I want to achieve. If this thing or things that you want to do is something that makes you feel in your heart that like, this is what life is supposed to be, this is what excites me, just do it. I promise you, all of that other scary stuff will fall into place. You might think you might not have enough time or how you're going to juggle your family and relationships and everything. Just put one step slowly in front of the other. And before you know it, one day you'll wake up and you're doing it. You're doing it. You're living the life that you want to live and you're juggling all of these things because you slowly got there and you didn't put pressure on yourself. You allowed yourself to live your dream life. And that is the end of this Q&A, guys. That was a bit of a long one. I might have to edit it down, but I hope you got to know a little bit more about me, and I'm excited to learn more about you guys. Yeah, I'm super happy to be keeping up my YouTube channel and posting regularly. It's something that I'm really enjoying doing, even though I don't have many views or subscribers yet. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.